Hey everyone, today is day 62 of my learning journey in Blender. Welcome to the channel. I decided to change things up tonight and watched an official Blender tutorial for a change. It's been a while since the last time I did this, and I thought why not do something completely different and start the Blender Scripting for Artists course. This is a course that they started creating back in the Blender 2.78 era, so some of the videos and therefore the scripts that they feature within those videos are outdated. But it does look like they've documented and explained any changes between versions and provided updated code or updated scripts where necessary. So that's good to know. I'm glad I figured that out early on. But yeah, Scripting for Artists is a course presented by Blender's own Dr. Sybren Stubel. I'm not exactly a mathematically oriented person, so I don't know how far I'm going to make it into the course before things go to hell, but I am giving it a go nonetheless. That's been the theme of this year regarding me versus Blender. So even if I just pick up a few basic concepts in, Blender Python, it will have been worth it. Full disclosure, I did read a introductory book on Python 4 or 5 years ago, a long time now, and I only made it about half to 3/4 of the way through until some of the concepts I didn't have the patience to stick with it. But I don't know how much of a leg up that gives me. It's probably not much. It's just like being able to recognize when something's in a list and being able to use some of the basic functions or operators or whatever. But yeah, I've never used it in the context of a Blender environment, so this stuff will probably mostly be new to me. In the first video though, Sybren provides a general introduction to Blender Python and the use of the Python console. He covers things like how you go about changing the location, rotation, or scale of an object in Blender using Python, how you can see the Python operator command for pretty much everything by hovering over a menu item or button in Blender in the Blender user interface. So just a quick example, you can hover over add cube here, and it gives you the operator python bpy.ops.mesh.primitive_cube add, and you can go Control C to copy that, and then Control V to paste it into either the Python console or the text editor, whichever you are using at that point in time. So I didn't know you could just copy and paste it like that, so that's pretty cool. At the end of the introductory video, he points everybody in the direction of the Blender API documentation and the Python standard library. So yay, more reading, just what I've always wanted. In the second video, he covers it's called Names and Objects. Won't go too much into it, but he did a lot of providing examples of Blender context sensitive names. Like being able to type in code to show you what the current active object is, or the currently selected object or objects, or the currently selected pose bones, just a couple of examples like that. And then the final video that I watched for the day, he covered stuff on lists. So it was basically a way to introduce the concept of Python lists in the context of Blender. He introduces the concept of looping over or iterating over a list. There's some stuff that I recognized, like the upper function, which is used in Python to convert every character in a string to uppercase or capital letters. I think you can also do lower and things like that, but he hasn't talked about that yet. But I'm pretty sure people would benefit from going off and doing their own separate study in Python itself as well, I guess. Let's see. So there's two examples that he provided, which were kind of fun, if not very basic. One of them was select all hidden objects that have .00 in their name. I'll show you both of these real quick. I'll do the last one first and the first one last. Let's see. And then he showed us how to create 600 tiny Suzannes and apply a subdivision surface modifier to each one using a script. So that would be that script here. We'll just run that. It takes a little while. Let's play the waiting game. The waiting game sucks. Let's play Hungry Hungry Hippos. Jeez, it is taking a while, isn't it? Awkward. Suzanne? Do I need a new PC? This is taking ages. Yeah, no, there we go. Took way longer than I expected. I wouldn't have hit the run button if I'd known. But we end up with a bunch of Suzanne's evenly spaced, using that mathematics there, and nicely subdivided. So yeah, just easing us into the idea of using scripts. And then the other one I'll show you before I end today's video was this one here. And it's basically, let's see, select all hidden objects that have .00 in their name. So if I hide these, if I make these 0 through to 009 hidden objects by pressing H, and then we run this script, it's going to go through each object and check to see if it's hidden and has .00 in the name. And then if it does, it makes them visible. Fairly basic. And that's where we're up to. That was an hour's worth of content. You know, it might not seem like much, but like, how are you going to learn something from scratch if it's... Not everybody's like mathematically minded or can lean into the ideas of programming. People's brains work differently. So it's interesting. It's scripting for artists, not just scripting. So I hope it doesn't get too overwhelming. But yeah, that's today's video. I'm going to call it here. I hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you in the next video. See you next time.